would you say has been surprising about navigating the cultural differences, especially being an American, and just like how you've navigated, or has it caused any, like, triggered anything that you've thought about differently and stuff in terms of traveling?
In general, right?
Yeah.
Not just to Morocco, because I feel like that happened to me. You know, I had my epiphany a long time ago when I studied abroad in college and I left for the first time, and that's when I was the first in my family to leave North America, and that's when my family started traveling. They were just following me everywhere. So then I started realizing, when you travel and you step out of your bubble, you realize who you are. You know what I mean? You realize what it means to be an American, because in America, nobody calls you an American. Nobody calls each other American. Yeah. You're just like, they address you by race. Whether you're black or white. Yep. Oversimplified terms, and you're like your ethnicity. Yep. And my ethnicity, I don't really connect to that either. I'll say, because my mother's family comes from Puerto Rico. I don't speak Spanish. Yes. And she's very Americanized. My dad, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of Americans feel like there's like a lack of culture. Like they lack culture. Yeah. And you hear that a lot. They also feel like, oh, we don't have any culture. But then as soon as you step out, you realize, oh well, we do have a culture. Yes. Because no, not everyone's the same as us. Not everyone eats what we eat, talks how we talk, and watches what we watch on TV, and Yeah. So yeah, it just helped me realize who I was, my place in the world, and I feel like maybe have a better understanding of myself. Yeah. I didn't realize I was like I think the same thing of being American until I was out of the US. That's when I was like, oh shit, I am. Because I was not a patriotic person. That wasn't it. And then it wasn't until I was in Germany, and then I was like, oh. They ask you what you are, and you're like, what do I say? And then they're like, oh, you're American. And that's the first time you ever call yourself that. And, yeah. So a lot of Americans have never experienced that still. And I feel like, I don't know, I wish more Americans would travel and, experience what it's like to be outside the US and realize it gives you a different perspective on who you are.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Ginny.
Thanks.
And I really enjoy getting to know you. I love that you are Puerto Rican, but you learn French and Arabic. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, because they're just so different. You don't hear much French or Arabic in the U.S. Yep. So everyone speaks Spanish, all over the Americas. So it was just an interesting change.
Yeah, I appreciate it, because I'm not religious, and I was dating a Palestinian, and I went to a Catholic university, and I was Jewish studies minor. So I'm just someone, I just like to dare to be there. I just like to fuck with shit and just do weird stuff. So I appreciate that, and the spirit of that. I recognize it. All right. Thank you, sir.